Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome to 2025, and here's hoping we have a much better year for movies, because 2024 absolutely sucked for cinema, and considering this very anticipated list only covers movies from January to August, it has me a little concerned. But it's important to stay optimistic, find movies you want to look forward to, and explain why you think they might end up on your best of year list, or at the very least, be good to watch in general. And for this list, I'm only covering movies that have confirmed release dates. There's stuff like Eddington or Andy Serkis's Animal Farm, bet you didn't know that was coming out, that may or may not even come out in 2025, so I don't really want to take a chance on those. With that said, let's get started. All I know about The Colors Within is the main character is a girl with synesthesia who sees people as colors. And just the idea of seeing such a unique condition and perspective of the world can look so gorgeous on the big screen if G-Kids gets that many theaters to play this movie. So that's all I want to know going in. All I can do is hope that the story itself and imagery can fully live up to its potential. The monkey has me worried yet curious at the same time. I can't remember what movie I saw that the trailer for this played, but the music and dialogue made me realize this is just as, if not more of a dark comedy as it is horror, something I'm not really sure Osgood Perkins can pull off because he hasn't actually done this before. But that said, the killer of this is a fucking cymbal-clanging monkey doll, so maybe it'll be tongue-in-cheek about how unintentionally creepy those fuckers are. And honestly, with what I've heard about how bloody and over-the-top the kills are, I'd love to see a Stephen King horror comedy. Good one, anyways. The casting of Theo James, Tatiana Maslany, and especially Elijah Wood, who I would love to see beat this monkey to death with a tea kettle, and so should you, gives me a lot of hope, and Neon is already so confident in this movie, they actually re-released Longlegs for a week last year with a sneak preview in order to hype this up, so I'm taking the bait, Neon. Don't make me regret this. There's a 2D Looney Tunes movie coming out in theaters that will not be hijacked by boring human characters or turn into a soulless corporate commercial. Do I even need to explain why I'm excited for this? Other than the fact that Bugs doesn't seem to be a character in this, I cannot wait to see what they pull off with The Day the Earth Blew Up. I haven't actually seen any trailers for this, so I could be wrong, but The Legend of Ochi, if that's even how you pronounce it, kind of sounds like a throwback to fantasies like Neverending Story or Labyrinth, right down to the fact that they're using puppets and animatronics to bring these creatures to life, and they made over 200 matte paintings for the backdrops of this universe. The story itself will probably be another generic misunderstanding of what these creatures are actually like, but as long as the fantasy world they create is imaginative and the casting pays off with people like Finn Wolfhard and Willem Dafoe in front of the camera, Dafoe will probably be either a villain, wise mentor, or both. I think the visual presentation and execution of the story can win me over. Ryan Coogler apparently made a Southern Gothic vampire movie with 2 Michael B. Jordan performances, Haley Steinfeld, Delroy Lindo, and Lee Jung Lee among others, filmed in glorious 65mm, so I can already feel the ambition and scope that this movie's striving for. If it's another racism is bad message movie we've seen a billion times, I'm gonna be disappointed, because we already know racism is bad, guys. Like, this isn't new to say anymore. But here's hoping the acting, gothic visuals, kills, and vampire mythology it brings to the table are absolutely awesome. Because the last 4 Mission Impossible movies all had the exact same qualities that made them great, practical stunt work, creative action choreography, and great team chemistry with Tom Cruise and the rest of the cast, I'd be repeating myself listing off why I'm looking forward to Final Reckoning. I do still wish that this was the final entry in the franchise, because you're gonna run out of steam eventually, but I digress. The fact they reshot Ballerina to add more action scenes has me a little worried, but because Chad Stahelski was the one in charge of them, if there was any trouble with the movie, here's hoping he saved them. And to be honest, seeing an origin story set in the John Wick universe that can intertwine with the Continental, expand the lore even further, give us more cool characters, and see Ana de Armas become an action star, all sound exciting and promising to watch. Based on the trailer's bright, vibrant color scheme, a surprising amount of sets and practical effects for a Superman movie, David Cornsweet and Nicholas Hoult resembling their characters to a T, and just giving off a more hopeful, optimistic vibe than the superhero movies we're used to these days, which is kind of ironic when I say that out loud. I'm giving James Gunn's Superman the benefit of a doubt, even though there seems to be too many side characters, and I still don't know why Nathan Fillion looks more like Season 1 Zack and Cody than he does Green Lantern, but comic nerds, you explain that part to me. The Battle of Baktan Cross is Paul Thomas Anderson's most expensive movie at $110 to $140 million, filmed on IMAX, with a stacked cast of actors like Leonardo DiCaprio, Sean Penn, Regina Hall, Benicio del Toro, actors he's mostly working with for the first time, which is really exciting to see from him. And since it's a crime thriller on a budget this high, it's another story where I want to walk into it as blind as possible and just let my imagination wander. Of all the pandemic movies, nobody was one of the coolest. Like a lot of people, I was surprised that Bob Odenkirk could be such a capable, badass action hero, and the fights were just awesome to watch. With this sequel, I'm glad they're bringing back RZA and Christopher Lloyd because they made the climax so much fun. The new director has such a bloodthirsty filmography that I really hope they up the ante with how over the top the violence and gore is, and the new casting choices of people like Sharon Stone, Colin Hanks, John Ortiz, McKenna Grace, fucking Chris Pine are such random but cool choices that, much like the other movies on this list, the less I know going in, the better. And with that, guys, thanks as always for watching. Let me know in the comments below, what movies are you looking forward to in 2025? Whatever they are, be sure to comment below, be sure to like and subscribe, check me out on Patreon and buy me a coffee, and stay tuned for the reviews of 2025. Take care.